Hi guys, Matt Titcomb from Peak InfoSec. Today, we're going to take a look at what you have to do to set the foundations for your information security culture within your business. Your business is realistically made up of products, the processes, the staff, and your clients. Everything we talk about when it starts to come to information technology and information security is there to support the operational execution of your business and to protect it from security threats. So we run into a lot of reasons why you can't do an information security culture within your business. First one is we're a small business. Guess what? If you're a DoD contractor, it doesn't matter. If you want to play in this space, you have to play equally in this space with the bigs worth billions. You have some flexibility in how to do it, but that's not an excuse anymore. A lot of other growing compliance requirements are also taking away that as an excuse, especially with cyber insurance and the need to do cybersecurity practices to start to get loans. Likewise, well, we're small, so we aren't targeted by hackers. Yes, you are. If you're a DoD contractor, you're targeted by hackers. If you're just a business out there with cash flow, you're targeted by hackers. Sorry guys, there's no avoiding them. They're coming after you. So when it comes down to IT, your IT guys only want to make you happy and keep systems up because they don't want to be called at 3 o'clock in the morning. They don't do security. It's not their thing. Likewise, we kind of jump back into the DoD space. Well, we're just a subcontractor all the way up to that big guy who won the contract. What info do you have? Well, you've still probably got some level of federal contracting information you have to protect per your contract clauses. So that one's not even an excuse. The last one we get, and the most honest, is we don't know how to do this. And we're here to help, and that's the point of this video, is to help you to start to understand what you need to do. The first thing you need to do is around policies. When we think of policies, we think of the classic sexual harassment policy, employee performance, and all those other things. You need information security policies. So your policies are going to formally set your expectations for human behavior. Policies are not written for systems. Now, that policies and the set of them are going to address the roles and responsibilities for the people in your organization for what they need to do. You're also going to give them the authority to act. In some cases, the authority not to act. A lot of times for users, they're not allowed to do things. You also need to address the consequences. Having a policy that you're not willing to enforce is a waste. Likewise, you need to set the requirements for what people need to do to fulfill the policy. Now, main things to do when doing a policy, it's got to come from the CEO. If it doesn't come from the top, it's going to fail because you don't have corporate buy-in. You need to delegate sub-policy publishing authority to the next tier down. The CEO can delegate down to the CISO or CIO. And as I said before, you have to enforce them. Plans come up next, and plans are a little bit of a hybrid item, but realistically, plans are a broader thing that addresses a strategic purpose that you're trying to fulfill that needs to get everything coalesced together, and it sets those goals and objectives. It also points to or integrates in relevant procedures and standards. Now, some of these will address a specific project plan for implementation and specific training needs, and they address the involvement of all the stakeholders that need to be involved in the plan. Now, plans come realistically in two types. There are strategic plans, system security plan for setting up your strategic, this is how we're going to do information security and protect critical information, all the way down to a tactical of an incident response of how do you handle it when a hacker gets in. Now in the next one, we've kind of pointed towards procedures. Procedures are repeatable processes that have known expected outcomes. Think of an assembly line for doing IT stuff. Now, that being said, IT hates procedures. We think we don't need them. We think we can do it all on our own, and what's in our head is good enough. That's wrong. So just understand, implementing procedures is going to go counterculture to your IT guys. Now, when it comes down to it, there are two types of procedures. There are the ad hoc procedure. It's a handwritten desk procedure, and it changes because things are changing. Those are always going to exist. And the ones we typically try and focus more on are your standard operating procedures. It's a formal, managed, and controlled process that is most times very, very repeatable. Classic example is your onboarding of new employees. The next one we look at are standards. Standards are design spec requirements, and they're also technical configuration items. Basically, when the system is set up, this is the way it should be set up. A baseline configuration is another way to think about this. Now, examples of this can include backup frequency, data loss standard, password complexity. There's a lot of them that are going to come up that need to be established within your business in order to set the foundation for those repeatable results by your procedures, your plans, and policies. Now, all this being said, the reality of the way this works is through practices. Practices literally are where the rubber meets the road. Setting this all up is around setting up the practices and making sure you're doing them. Now, when it comes down to getting this wheel moving, we got to actually kind of tip it on its side to let you see the how. The how is realistically with your governance bodies. Your governance bodies are absolutely critical for shaping your information security culture. They're the ones who are going to plan the culture change, drive the culture change, and as that culture change starts, adapt. Things are not going to go smoothly. There are times to put your foot down on that gas pedal, and there are times to take your foot off the gas pedal. And there are times to jam on the brakes. You need to flex with that as that occurs so that way your organization can survive, grow, and thrive in this culture change. Businesses that try and do a culture change overnight will fail. They will lead to too much internal resistance. We don't want that. Now, while governance bodies really kind of do get into managing technical issues, the reality is all this change can only be effectively done when it's best led from the top. And we also want representatives from everybody in your organization so everybody has involvement and a voice in this conversation. Now, there are examples of different types of governance bodies. The two we typically refer to is an information technology steering group. For most of the businesses, that's all we ever recommend they stand up. If they're a large business and they've got different tiers of management, we will recommend standing up that IT steering group at the executive level and then a change management board more at the tactical level to manage the day in, day out stuff. So when it comes to doing all this, especially when it comes to CMMC, if you think you have time to wait, you're wrong. There's a lot to do, especially when it comes to affecting your culture changes. Technical stuff is easy. For more information, please feel free to visit our website, OSD's website, and the CMMC accreditation body. Also, please feel free to contact us at info@peakinfosec.com or call us at 719-327-0110. Thank you.